So, there's no evidence reptilians are real, right? Just some stupid modern day conspiracy with no evidence. It's not like every culture has documented this all throughout history. Well, there is. The India Sarpa/Sarbine reptile people, Nagas in Sanskrit. In Africa, the Sierra Leone made statues of the Nomale, with a really interesting sky-falling story backstory we'll come back to. Sumerian reptile people, ancient Egypt serpent gods, and on a whole other level, dragons. From China to the Mideast, South and Central America. Cultures all over the world have seen dragons. Check out this clip. At the very beginning, you're going to see a swoop by, and at the very end, you're also going to see a swoop by. At the end, when it's paused, you're going to see wings flapping. If not fake, this could be some dragon footage that was captured during this recent eclipse. Dragon rabbit hole before we tie this back into sentient serpent beings. Worldwide references to great dragons like Leviathan, Tiamat, Jorgenmonder. Why would the Bible compare the greatest enemy to a great dragon if it wasn't real? Plus tons of historical accounts of real knights fighting real dragons. Accounts like St. George, or dragons terrifying whole towns and scorching them to fire. Or expeditions of men who took journeys to hunt them down, all over Europe. Plus the royal family crests and shields over time. Check out this old coat of arms from England in the 1500s. See the dragon. Also, old dictionaries say that dragons are just rare as of a couple hundred years ago still. And that word dinosaur was kind of just recently invented to refer to the brute beast, serpent genetic, dragon, dinosaur making beings. Fallen angel messing with reptile genetics into all creatures. Also in Sanskrit writings, Buddhism, Hinduism, Japan, and China all talk about the Takshaka, flying snake beings, and the 8 great dragon kings, spanning many cultures. Back to sentient reptilian beings. Some have really fascinating stories like the Nomale I mentioned, involving sky stones and the sky falling. Humanoid serpent beings that came from the sky, and when they fell from heaven, part of the sky turned to stone and fell with them. Tons of strange blue stones called sky stones have been found, and archaeologists don't know what to make of the stones when analyzed. Also, some of this firmament blue stone sky ice has been found and documented in Antarctica as well. Random reptilian segue, check out this picture of BP Richfield. Imagine him talking to you in person, a sentient reptile. Might be kind of terrifying. Native American legends are plentiful, from the Navajo to the Anasazi, with fascinating stories about reptile beings with halo, putting whole tribes under mind control and mass disappearances. Fascinating. Also, some of these tribes also have the Old Testament history that they sing, and the elders knew this. Could they be related to the tribes? Anyway, the link here, as you may or may not know, in Hebrew, seraphim, a class of angel, actually means fiery serpent, flying fiery serpents. So how about a fallen one, and then the offspring that they physically or genetically conducted? Even the Sumerian tablets kind of show this, as well as Genesis 6 explaining it and the Book of Enoch. This also ties in the right to the rule coming from the stars, ancient bloodlines, and even the Canaanite lineage. Making sense? Video plug, Mark of Cain, possibly vampirism, Dragon Man, on my page. So this brings the question, if dragons still exist, where are they? We're going to explore an idea of putting possible truth in fiction, and even cartoons. Let's check out the 80s classic He-Man for the dragon answer. Aside from a constant dragon story thread including many archetypes that always make their way into fiction involving dragons, such as volcanoes, caves, living away from men, having special powers, crystal balls or dragon pearls, empowered artifacts, wise with powers, and needing special weapons to kill them, etc. But 2 really fascinating tidbits in their storyline plot. One was that there was actually a 1,000-year dragon treaty with man, and kinda that these sentient dragon reptilian beings chose not to interact with humans, well, because if you were separated from society, would you really want to come back and interact with? Also themes of them being bound or imprisoned for a time. Check out my Azazel Fallen Angel Burial Site video. Final and most fascinating bit mentions a dragon ritual that they can perform involving a heavy amount of magic where they can become a man. They lose all their powers, and they retain the form of a man for the rest of their life. And they can live for thousands of years. Good old 80s cartoons and esoteric secrets. So we have a range from dragons, more on the brute beast side, possibly like the dinosaur understanding, all the way to the super wise, sentient, powerful dragon beings, or reptilian humanoid figures. Could be offspring, or some sort of way that the fallen angels have manifested themselves, or their line has manifested. Every culture's referenced it. Also, the inference is that the original seraphim, the unfallen ones, are still fiery serpent type of beings. The whole Bible is a story of 2 bloodlines, one of them being the seed of the serpent, a serpentine reptilian bloodline. Adding data from mass UFO experiences and modern day researchers like David Icke, rumors of the royal family, celebrities, etc. Commonalities include shapeshifting, which the Bible mentions Lucifer can do and appear as an angel of light, and also some sort of frequency manipulation that somehow manipulates the visual cortex of humans and makes them sort of see what they want them to see. Some sort of simulated deceptive veil. Also mind control jewelry with tech from fallen angels. demon-infused or special technology infused into rings that manipulate the mental field of people around them and make it easier for them to persuade them. Some weird Masonic rings are even rumored to have this effect. Exert a supernatural influence and perpetuate some sort of illusion and mental control. Could this ancient bloodline still be active behind the scenes, underground calling the shots, influencing humanity? And how does the mystery of very rare blood types and the Rh negative scale and even other rare blood types play into all this? Seeing how every culture has documented this, and it's in tons of religious texts and even modern day research and accounts, but it's probably just all made up. You know what, maybe this conspiracy actually isn't all that. It's all good. Remember, there is a happy ending. The book of Isaiah talks about the twisting serpent, the Leviathan, being defeated. And the book of Revelation talks about that great dragon, Satan, being defeated by the blood of the Lamb, Jesus Christ, and by the word of your testimony. Keep fighting the good fight, and stick around for what all this has to do with some of the deepest secrets of alchemy. See you next time.